For the longest time now, I've heard people say, I can't wait, and I think the town staff did a great job of taking advantage of that mindset, I can't wait, and they did a lot of great promos for the I can't wait for the MARC to open, and here we are on the precipice of that happening tomorrow morning. It's going to be a wonderful event tomorrow. We're so excited about that, but tonight we're here specifically, and I want to welcome you and thank you for being here tonight to join us for the unveiling of the art. Of course, the art has been unveiled, but it really comes to life when it's lit up. So in a few minutes, as the sun goes down a little bit, this is choreographed like to the minute. We practiced this for months and months on end to get down the timing on this. But we got a few things that we want to do leading up to that, and we're going to have the artist come up here in a little bit and talk. But before we do that, if you got an invitation to be here tonight, you might have noticed on the invitation that we were going to do a special announcement. And so I want to do that special announcement right now. Right out here is Marana, Maine, behind me. And this street right here, for the longest time, we've called it No Name Street. And we've called it No Name Street because it has no name.
That's right.
And I think that's just wrong. I think it should have a name. And so thinking about how we come up with a name, and I give credit to actually Jackie Craig, who's not here, she was a council member, and Roxanne Ziegler. We were sitting in the council or in the manager's conference room and talking about different things and and they said, you know, I think we ought to name that street such and such. And I thought, that's amazing. That's beautiful. And so tonight we're going to unveil the naming of the street and this special thing here that we're going to do. And I want everybody to know and see that this is going to be named Jim Conroy Place.
Wow.
And
nice.
Jim, if you could come up here a minute. I know this is going to be tough. If you can hold it together just for a few minutes, I want you to come up here because you don't get to take this one with you. This one's going to go up there, but this one right here, they had specifically made for you so that you have as a commemoration. So I got to tell you, people, Jim's going to get an opportunity to talk tomorrow, and I know right now if you were to try to talk, it might be a little bit difficult. I know Jim pretty well, and I can say with assurance that would be the case. But I want to say why. I want you to know why we did this. I think when God was up in heaven and He was thinking about how and how do we create a Parks and Recs director? Right, and he thought about all the qualities that a Parks and Recs director needed to have. Had to be somebody who was active, and somebody who was passionate, and somebody who was positive, and somebody who was energetic, and somebody who was bright. He almost nailed it. Almost nailed it, God did. But in all honesty, when I think about a director, a leader for a Parks and Recs department, I cannot think of a person who is better suited than Jim Conroy. And his leadership for our Parks and Recs department has taken it to a whole new level. And whenever he decides to pull the plug and move on and go into retirement, he has left our Parks and Recs department in tremendous hands. He has done such a phenomenal job of raising up good leaders underneath him to prepare our community for the future generations to come. And, you know, here's a guy who's been with us now for about 8 years, 7.5, 8 years. Yeah. And that's not a lot of time. But I got to tell you, I can't think of too many people that have had a greater impact on this community than Jim Conroy has in those 8 years. And so, Jim, I just wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the work that you've done. And I think this is a fitting tribute for Jim Conroy Place. Yeah. I know you can. Love you, boy.
Well done.
Oh, yes. And I want to thank Rich Jacinto for doing this, and he actually came up with the idea to put that thing together, and so the sign company is like really excited. They're going to start making those. So I think you got to trademark it. Rich is going to trademark those.
I know that little connector.
It was not an easy thing to keep this a secret, because there were a number of people that knew about it, and rarely can you tell one person without people finding out. So, yeah. Your team did a great job of keeping it from you. All right. Jim Conroy Place, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about the artwork itself before I introduce Joe to you. But when the mayor and council decided, and this was done several years ago. So there's been a few changes in the council since then. A different mayor, obviously, now, since our dearly departed Mayor Honey has passed away. But this was a vision for Mayor Honey and Vice Mayor Post and the rest of the council for a very long time. And when Jim Conroy came with the 10-year master plan, and the number one thing that was on the list was a Marana Aquatics and Recreation Center, the council gave the direction, make it happen. And that was just a few short years ago. 3.5, 4 years ago, and to think that we're here now is quite amazing. But one of the things we wanted to do was begin, and the council has given direction to staff to really start looking for opportunities to have art in our community. And so what you have here is not just an awesome display of artistic design, but also something, it's called Points in Time, right? Because you have these points throughout our history. It starts all the way out in front in Marana, Maine. You'll have to get out there and take a look at that, and all the way around, all the way back to the Hohokam Village and to the Cotton Gin and to the airfield during World War II, and all of these things are these amazing points in time for the town of Marana, and it really highlights our history and our culture, which has been something that our council has been emphasizing for years and years. And so as you look at the artwork tonight, just keep that in mind. It's something that very near and dear to our hearts, and you're going to see the history played out here on the walls. Now, when we went out to do this, we had to go out to a competitive bid, and we asked for proposals from people, and we had a lot of really great proposals that came in. But Creative Machines is a company here in town, and they do artwork all over the world. Not just all over Arizona or all over the United States, but all over the world they install art pieces. So when they came forward and presented, it became a very clear who we were going to bring on board to do this. And as they came up with the design and presented those to us and continued to work on those, they just became increasingly impressive to us. When they brought us in to show them lit up, I was like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely beautiful. So I want to take an opportunity now to invite up to the stage now Joe O'Connell, who is I think the CEO and president and leader of Creative Machines and one of the main designers for the artwork, to talk a little bit about it.
Thank you. This is truly a point in time. I think we're all going to remember this evening and this event, and that's what lives are made of. That's what history's made of, is points in time. So thank you for being here today. When we began working on Points in Time, and it's really a group effort, so there's 28 of us at Creative Machines. We worked with the town council, we worked with many people, and as we got into the nitty-gritty, was especially Andre de la Cruz and Kurt Schmidt, who worked with us on a lot of the details, and many who I'm probably not going to have time to name. But what we set out to do is to capture the moments that made Marana what it is. And so I invite you to take a stroll to compress over 10,000 years of history into 2 minutes. Starting with the Hohokam, going through agriculture, ranching, industry, aviation, everything that made Marana what it is today, leading up to modern recreation and our way of life that we enjoy now. I'd like to end by thanking people who aren't here, actually. My hope is that there are people depicted in these, and that we have honored the lives that lived before, that made our lives possible. and invite you to spend a moment, not necessarily seeing them all, but just stand in front of any one point in time and imagine what it would have been like to live there. Because right now, we're in a point in time, and we're not going to escape our circle, and our circle is going to be named 20, 50 years from now. There's more room on the wall. So as we live in our point in time, let's do it justice, and people in the future will be proud of us as we are proud of the people who made us what Marana is today. So my hope is that this work is for you, that it's not just going to be something pretty to look at, and it'll get prettier in a minute as the lights come on, but it sponsors questions and conversations and reminiscences as you're waiting for someone, as you're thinking about how you'll be remembered and what led up to you. So let's hope that it works on many levels, on the eyes, heart, mind, and soul as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Joe didn't use up all of his time.
I have more. I thought we were running behind.
And now I have to stall.
You can do it.
So I'm going to sing a song. It's something I made up myself. I'm totally kidding. I'm not going to sing a song. I do want to thank you, Joe. I appreciate those remarks. Very well said about the points in time and doing justice to our own point in time here. And I do believe that the work that's being done by the people in this community and the staff here, and certainly our mayor and our council, who provide us the guidance and direction that we need in order to accomplish the things that we accomplish here in this community. And tomorrow's going to be a big day, and today we're going to light up these points in time. And I just want to thank the people. There's way too many people involved, as Joe said, to call everybody out by name. But Kurt Schmidt from the town has been one of the project managers on this, the project manager from the town. I want to thank Abacus, who's been our hired project management team. I want to thank Architecton. You guys have done just such a phenomenal job. I was certainly very involved with the police department. You made a park and recs facility even more beautiful than our police department. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I think I'm getting used to it and okay with it. So to John, to Mike, to Peter, and to the Chase building team. I mean, what an amazing group of people they have been to work with as well. So grateful to them. To our mayor and council, this doesn't happen without the kind of bold vision, insight, and direction that you have given to your staff. And I'm hoping that we have carried these things out in a way that makes all of you proud. The mayor and the council makes all of you proud and makes our community very proud. So without further ado, I think it is probably that time. And I don't know if we're going to turn off these lights, shining brightly. That light back there, perhaps. I'm not doing a countdown, I was told. Do not do a countdown.
Wow.
Woo!
Oh, I love the edge of it.